And a strap, if you don't have a strap at home, you can use a belt, you can even use a towel. And then a blanket can be helpful for just propping up the hips as we come into a few seated poses at the end. So we're going to bring our focus and attention to the hamstrings today, as it is hamstrings week here at the studio. But for now, let's start in a nice comfortable seated position. I'll bring around some essential oils in just a moment. And starting off on a nice long spine, palms up for the oils, palms down if you're not using them today. Nice full inhale, breath through the nose. And just sigh out the mouth, there we go. Another one of those in through the nose. Release it out the mouth. And then just focusing on the breath coming in and out through the nose. Looking for that soft, settled, quiet breath. And looking for the feeling of the ribcage expanding and contracting with the flow of the breath. A gentle rise and fall of the belly without any force. Hands to get our peppermint and citrus blend. Take a moment just to bring the aroma into the space around you when in contact with the eye, and then hands up in front of the nose. Inhale. Drop the hands. Exhale out through the nose. This time with a hold. Inhale through the nose. Nice long hold today. Draw the belly in. And let the shoulders drop down the back. Soften the face as you hold. And then release out the nose. Slow, controlled release. Going for another 3, 2, 1. And then inhale through the nose. Pause and hold. Draw that belly back. Shoulders down the back. Soften the face. And release out the nose. Another 3, 2, 1, and then inhale. Final round. Holding the breath in at the top. Settling into that nice, strong, straight spine, soft face. And releasing out the nose all the way to empty. Push that last little bit of breath out. And then return to your regular breath. Any excess, take it to your favourite spot, which might be the low back, the feet. And then we'll start today in a reclined position on our backs. Make sure your strap is handy, and then just draw the knees in towards the chest. A little bit of a rock side to side. And then take hands on opposite knees and just find circles. And then take your circles in the opposite direction. And then keep the right knee drawn in. Extend the left leg long. Take a spinal twist. Taking that right knee across the body with the left hand. Gazing up over the right shoulder. And bring it back through center. We'll switch sides. Extend the right leg long. Draw left knee in. And crossing that across to the right. Extending the arm out to the left. And then coming back once again. Plant the heels down. And then take the right heel and place it on the left knee. Reach through. Maybe you take hold of the front of the shin or the back of the thigh, whatever feels most comfortable and allows you to bring the shoulders to the mat and try and ground the sacrum down to the mat. All the while, both feet are flexed and the right knee is pressing away. So our number 4 stretch. Nice, one more breath here. And then just mindfully switching sides. Left foot to right knee, hands wrap around the front of the left shin, both feet flexed. Left knee pressing away. Try and ground the shoulders, ground the sacrum. And release, extend both legs up towards the ceiling. And take a little bit of activation into the hamstrings before we bring it our strap to stretch. So find length through the hamstrings by pressing up through the heels and flexing the feet. Your option with the hands, if you'd like a little bit of low back support, you slide the hands in underneath the buttocks. Otherwise, you can take your palms flat beside you or even out wide. Whatever works for you. Nice full inhale breath here. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg down towards the mat. And then you're going to pull the right knee in towards the chest and then extend the right leg up towards straight. Try and pull it closer to you than 90 if you can. So really working the length of that leg. Beautiful. And then switch. Lower the left leg down. Pull the left knee into the chest and then extend that leg up. Try and pull it in closer. Beautiful. Right leg drops. Right knee draws in. Extend right leg up, pull it in. Nice, left leg drops. Left knee pulls in, extend it up toward the ceiling, draw it in closer. One more to each side, drop the right leg, draw it into the chest, extend the right heel up, pull it in closer. And last side, left leg down, left knee draws in, left leg extends up, pull it in closer. Nice, and then draw the knee into the chest. Take a little moment. And then reach for your strap. Left leg's going to extend long, and then loop your strap around the arch of the right foot. Now if you're a flexi human, and you can reach the big toe, feel free to take the big toe instead. Otherwise, find the strap around the arch of the foot, and then just slide the hands down until your shoulders can ground. And then activate this left leg by flexing the toes and pressing out through the heel. And do the same for the extended right leg. And then if you'd like, and it feels okay, you can work that leg a little bit closer in. Try and keep the hips squaring. Find a point that feels comfortable for you. It doesn't feel like gripping. Check and make sure there's no gripping in the jaw, no gripping in the face. And notice what the shoulders are doing. Make sure they're not lifting up and around the ears, that they're sinking back down to the mat. 3 more breaths here. Keep pressing up through the heel, keep the toes flexing. And after that third breath is finished, both sides of the strap are going to come into the right hand. Left hand can come to the hip, and then extend that right leg out to the side. Try and keep these hips square. We're looking for the extension to come up through the inner thigh. You might feel it in the low back a little bit. Try and find a point where it doesn't feel like pain. It just feels like a nice lengthening through the leg. Keep pressing out through the heel so that leg is still working itself towards straight, reducing any bend in the knee. And then 1 more breath. If you'd like to, for the last breath, soften the strap. And then use an active leg to pull it in through center. Nice. Release the strap, bend through the leg, take hold of the bottom of the foot, and we'll find half happy baby. So you can take the inside or outside edge of the foot, and then try and work this shin bone to vertical, drawing the knee towards the armpit, softening down through the shoulders. Beautiful, slowly release. And shake out the legs, maybe you extend into a full body stretch. And then draw left knee in, loop the strap around that left foot. Extend the left foot up towards the ceiling. Activate the right leg. Flex the right toes, flex the left toes. Nice long, strong, straight right leg. And then pulling on the strap without too much force. And maybe you come to this point where the shoulders are plugged into the mat. Maybe you can reach the big toe. And maybe you just hold high on the strap. Find a point that works for you. And keeping this quadricep active so you can lengthen through the hamstring. Keep pressing out through the heels of both feet. Looking for the full deep breath. There's two more here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And then on the exhale, right hand comes to the right hip and the left leg goes out to the left. Still trying to work that leg up towards the face, looking for that length in the inner thighs, looking for the squaring of the hips. Try and keep that grounded leg flexed. Nice. And then for this final breath, you might loosen the strap once again. Feel the activation on both sides of the legs, and then pull it back through center. Release the strap, place it to the side, bend through the knee. Take hold of the bottom of the foot. If you can't quite reach the bottom of the foot, you can always take hold of the shin. Otherwise, drawing it in and down, looking for a nice, strong opening into the hips. Knee towards the armpit, shin bone vertical to the mat. And then release and extend, full body stretch. And then slide the knees back in towards you, hands under the knees, and we'll rock it up to a seat. 2 or 3 little rocks. And then we'll hold here, setting up for our Navasana. So in your Navasana, you might keep the heels down and just work on activation through the core from here. Okay, otherwise you might float the feet, so hands can come in, feet float up, try and keep the knees together, the toes together, and you might hold here. And feel free to extend the arms, and if it's in your practice, extend the legs. We'll hold for another 3, another 2, and 1. Come down, you might cross the shins or just sweep the legs out to the side. We'll come over to a tabletop position. Setting up your tabletop somewhere near the back of the mat, so the big toes are almost hanging off the back of the mat. And then moving through our cat-cow, just dropping the belly, finding a nice arch. And then draw belly in, dome and round. Inhale, flowing into your cow pose, arching, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. Exhale, rounding into your cat pose, pressing the mat away, squeezing the thumbs together. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. And then the hands walk forward. The toes tuck. Lift up, find your downward facing dog with the feet in a little. And settling into your down dog. As our neighbours back a truck in to block our lights. The trials and tribulations of live recording. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. And just working into your alignment, noticing what the hands are doing. Check in and make sure that the Index and thumb are really pressing into the mat. Notice what the feet are doing. See if you can feel those 3 points. Ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, and the base of the heel really pressing down into the mat. And see if you can float the toes. You might create a little bit more lengthening in the hamstrings. You might feel the activation through the shin. And then inhale, ripple forward, find your high plank position. And shuffle the feet as you need to rise up onto the toes, press the mat away, see if you can dome into the upper back a little more. And then drop the knees to the mat, untuck the toes and lower all the way down. Inhale, lift up, find your baby cobra, draw the elbows in, shoulders back. Plant the hands down, come back up towards your cobra pose. Extending through the crown of the head. Feel free to slide the hands a little further forward if you need to. And then press into the knees, tuck the toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog once again. This time from your down dog, walk your feet together to touch. Feel a little squeeze of the knees together for a moment. And then like you're shortening your leg, pull your right leg up into your hip socket, try and float the foot while keeping that foot flexed at the same time. And then slowly plant the right foot down, float the left foot. And then once again, the right, and then the left. Looking for length through the back of the legs as you do this. And then gaze forward to the top of the mat. Use that walking action to take yourself into a forward fold at the top of the mat. So mindful stepping, one foot at a time, trying to shorten the leg as you walk all the way to the top of the mat. And then set the feet up, hip distance, bend through the knees, find your forward fold. Coming into this ragdoll option with the hands at the elbows. One more breath. And release the hands, slide the hands to the shins, inhale, flat back, halfway lift. And then notice where your hips are in relation to your heels. Maybe you drift back or drift forward. Find that point where you can feel the grounding through the 3 points of the feet. Hands find the shins and look for the length through the backs of the legs. Drifting forward and back until you find that nice juicy spot and holding there. Exhale, bend the knees, refold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reach the arms tall. Exhale, forward fold, little bend to the knees. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Then bend the knees, plant the hands, step the right foot back and drop the right knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, frame the foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, lower to the mat or hold in your low push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, rise up, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Drop the left knee to the mat and inhale, rise up, low lunge. Find that full length. Exhale, frame the foot, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, curl up to stand. Reaching. Exhale, hands through heart. Second side, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot steps back this time. Drop the left knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, frame the foot, step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, lower down, maybe knees into the mat or through your low push-up chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, maybe upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through. Dropping the right knee, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands plant, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, all the way to the top, reach. Exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach one more. Exhale, fold. This time without the lunges. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, take it back straight to your down dog. And then your option, holding here for 3 breaths. We'll take it through another vinyasa if you wish. Inhale, coming forward. Lowering down. Inhale, your back extension, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your down dog, nice full breath. And then inhale, pick up the right leg, reach it tall. Bend through the knees, stack and open the hip, find that scorpion dog. Pull that heel in a little tighter if you can. Press the hands deeper into the mat, try and square the shoulders. And then take the right knee through and tap the right elbow. Inhale, reach up and back, nice straight leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach up and back, straight leg. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, step the right foot through. Drop the right heel to the mat and we'll rise up for warrior one. Reach it. And then today in your warrior one, bring your hands to your hips. Take your front foot a little wider. And then see if you can press down through that back foot. Try and lift the back arch. And try and float the toes on both feet. Squaring the hips mindfully towards the front of the mat. And lining the chest up with the front of the mat. Reach the arms up if you wish. Hands together in prayer above the head. Or keep them at shoulder distance if that works better for you. Exhale, plant the hands, frame the foot, step back. Your vinyasa, which might mean straight to down dog. It might mean flowing it out. It might mean child's pose. We'll take it to the second side. Now lift the left leg high. Bend the knee, find your scorpion dog as you stack and open the hips. And see if you can send some attention down through the heel on that right foot. Feeling the back of the leg. Pulling the heel in tight on the left leg. And then draw left knee to left elbow and hop. Inhale up and back, square hip, straight leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up and back. Exhale, knee to right elbow, hop. Inhale up and back. And step the foot through. Looking for our warrior one once again. Rise up, hands to hips. Front foot a little wider. Make it easier to square the hips. And then see if you could float the feet. Float the toes, on both feet. And maybe reach the arms up. Hands in prayer above the head. One more inhale. And then exhale. Frame the foot. Step back. Maybe down dog. Maybe through your vinyasa. Beautiful work. Nice full inhale breath. Exhale, maybe side out the mouth. And then inhale, reach the right leg high. Step the right foot through between the hands. Stay low. And now might be a great opportunity to bring the blocks towards the front of the mat. And from this nice low position, You're going to place the left hand down and reach the right arm up. Beautiful, nice full inhale breath, reaching through the fingertips. And then slowly sweep that hand back. Bring the hands to your blocks. And we're setting up for supported warrior 3. So you might like the blocks on the highest setting. You might be happy with the hands to the floor of the mat. We'll try and square the hips and flex that back foot. If it feels good, you might hover the hands. Beautiful. Then little bend to the knee, bring yourself up to stand. Draw that knee in nice and tight. Beautiful. And then from here, your option. You might support, bringing the hands underneath the thigh as you extend the leg. You might reach, taking hold of the big toe and extend. If you'd like it super active, arms reach up, leg extends by itself. Really pressing out through the heel for another 3, another 2, and a final 1. And then slowly sweep this leg back. You're going to plant the hands back down to the blocks. Slowly make your way back. Nice short stance. We're setting up for pyramid pose. So bring the blocks with you to frame the foot. Straighten out this front leg. And this back foot can point almost in the same direction. Make sure your feet are set up at hip width. And the toes might turn out slightly if that feels good. And they might all be almost square. Find length through the low back. Exhale, fold over the leg. Nice active front leg. Nice and straight. Feel the length coming into the hamstring. Might even take the hands back if that works for your anatomy and for what you are experiencing today. Keep pressing down through the feet. And again, make sure you're not gripping with the toes. See if you can almost float them. One more breath. And then bring the hands forward, bend through the knee. Remove your blocks and the foot. And you can step back either to down dog or once again your option, float out through your vinyasa. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Draw the knee towards the nose as you step that left foot through between the hands. Keep the right hand down, reach the left arm up, find your twist. Keep drawing that knee in towards the midline, working that back leg towards straight. Nice, and then the top hand reaches back and sweeps through. If you're using blocks, bring them in as we set up for 3. Looking for that nice strong straight left leg, and then extending out through the floating leg. That right foot is flexed, pressing the energy out through the heel. Try and square the hips, and that might be a feeling of dropping the right hip slightly. Feel free to have the blocks on the highest setting, or maybe you float the hands, finding your pose. Beautiful, nice full breath. And then use a little bend to the standing leg to come all the way up. And you might be here, just drawing this knee in. You might be here with the hand extended. The hands wrapped around the extended leg behind the thigh. You might take the big toe option. If you're feeling active, reach the arms with that right leg extended. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly sweep the leg back. Coming through, a little bend to that front knee. Plant the foot, short stance, bring the blocks back with you. Straighten the front leg, setting up for our pyramid pose. Find a place where the hips are square, which might mean shuffling the feet a little wider. Blocks can frame the foot, slide back wherever it works for you as you inhale forward over the leg, exhale down. Keep working this front foot into the mat, particularly the ball of the big toe, which will help to square the hips. And keep pressing down through those 3 points in the back foot, particularly working on grounding down through the heel and keeping the toes from gripping. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, rising back up. In through that front knee. Remove the block so you can plant the hands and either step straight to your down dog, or once again take your vinyasa. Beautiful. Finding your way back to downward facing dog. Or inhale, reach the right leg high. Step the right foot through between the hands and then drop the left knee to the mat. You can bring in the blocks once again as we work a little bit more length into the hamstrings. You might like to shuffle this back knee back a little. You might even like to bring in your blanket to support the back knee. And from there, start to draw back, coming into our half split. So set up your blocks at a place that feels good, that helps you find length. You might like them quite close in to start with. And then exhale, fold over this front leg. Make sure this front foot is flexed. And if you're a little bit more of a flexible human, you'd like to work deeper, you'd like to go for the full splits, start to slide yourself back. Looking for that length through that left hip flexor as well as the right hamstring. Looking for flexibility through the hips. Taking any variations that work for you. And if you're getting close, you might even be able to use a block to support yourself and reach the arms up. Remembering all of these things are just options, only taking what works good in your body. One more full breath. And slowly making your way out, returning to that low lunge position and reach the arms. And this time, hands are going to plant down the inside line of this front foot. You might like to bring the blocks in as you shuffle that front foot towards the top corner of the mat. Blocks are there, so maybe you can drop the forearms down, untuck the back toes, maybe even roll onto the blade edge of this front foot to open out and sink into the hips. If there's space, of course, and you don't need the blocks, feel free to take it deeper. Nice, 2 more breaths here. If you're quite flexible through the hips, we're going to come into a quad stretch here. So if you're quite flexible through the hips, you might stay low and see if you can find the foot, maybe even reach through and find the foot. Otherwise, bring yourself up a little, bend through the back and take hold. If you can't quite reach, you can always use the strap and come into the quad stretch from here. Just working into the areas that feel good in your body. You're pushing your edges, but not coming into those zones of pain. 1 more breath. Slowly release if you've taken the strap. Plant it to the side. And then step back. Once again, your option. Flow through Vinyasa. I'm going to take it straight to down dog and just take 3 full breaths. Next inhale, lift the left leg high. Left foot steps through, find your low lunge. Again, your option might be to bring in the blanket and maybe use the blocks. Shuffle that back foot back a little, draw into this front heel, flexing the foot. Try and keep the hips square and maybe you come into the fold. And if you took it on the other side, you might slide that heel forward, slide the back knee back, and work in towards your full Hanumanasana or your splits pose. Again, if you're getting close, you might use the block. Maybe play with the balance. And just be where your body is at. Try not to force anything, and try and keep it all active. One more breath. Slowly making your way out. Back to that low lunge position, bringing the blocks forward. Toe heel this foot out a little. And you can have the blocks ready for the forearms. Or if you don't need them, slide them out of the way. Sink into that low lunge position. The front foot's forward of the front knee. And maybe you roll onto that blade edge, coming down to the blocks or the floor and sinking into the pose. Getting deep into the hips. And feeling this intention of drawing forwards. And we'll take our last few breaths with the quad stretch added. So you might like to shuffle in the knee, shorten the stance just a little. Keeping the right hand down, taking the left arm back. And finding that foot. Use the strap on the other side, feel free to use it again. And again, if you've got a little bit more flexibility, feel free to stay low. Nice, one more breath here. Gently release. And then either stepping yourself back, straight to down dog, or flow it out through your version of Vinyasa. Find a little rinse out before we go into some seated postures. Once you've completed your Vinyasa, gaze forward. You can step or hop through to a seat. So if you're stepping, you might cross the shins as you step. And lower down. Beautiful. This is where you might like to bring in the blanket. Just for a little bit of assistance with the pelvic tilt. You're going to take the legs out straight for Paschimottanasana. Now your option, once again, is to use the strap here. So flexing the feet, finding some activation. If it's super intense in your legs, you can always keep a little bend. You might like to slide in a blanket or a rolled up towel to support underneath. Otherwise, see if you can find straight legs today. Just see how that feels. Maybe you just don't come as far into the fold. Strap wraps around the arch of the feet. Find the length through the lower back first. Big inhale, reaching out through the crown. And then exhale, start to come forward into the fold. If you know you don't need the strap and you're comfortable without, feel free to take the big toes, wrap around the feet, or maybe just rest the hands on the shins, looking for length with every inhale breath. Imagine the chest drawing towards the toes and sinking in with the exhale breath. We'll take another 3 full breaths here. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Take a moment, just remove the blanket out to the side, place the hands down behind you, slide the heels in, and press and lift the hips. So reverse tabletop here. If you'd like to take it deeper, if you'd like to come to a reverse plank, you can step the feet out, but find a place where you can bring the toes down to the mat. For me, I prefer reverse tabletop, helps me lift the hips a little higher. And then slowly bring it back down, all the way to the mat. Knees drawn into the chest, gentle rock side to side. And then extending the legs out, we'll find our Shavasana. Settling into that quiet space, creating space for the arms to extend, the legs to extend, and then softening the weight of your body down to the mat. Notice what your breath is doing. And everything sinks with every exhale breath. Maybe take a scan from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head and the fingertips, releasing out. If you're at home and you have more time, feel free to stay in Shavasana a little longer. Otherwise, bringing your attention back to the breath, reintroducing movement through the fingers and toes. As you're ready, making your way up to a comfortable seat, we'll close the class together. Find a nice long spine, draw the hands into heart center. Gently bowing the head towards the hands, we'll close on a nice full breath. Inhale, fill up the chest, feel everything expand and lift. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth, let it all go. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your time, sharing your energy and your practice today. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you at home.